Welcome back, everybody, to another live stream repair. We've got a lot to fix. I don't know how many we're going to get through, but we're going to find out. The first one up tonight is Lance with the common no power issue. We're going to start by plugging in a known good power cable to confirm their symptoms. And our kilowatt meter says we're pulling about 4 watts from the wall, so that tells me this is another one of those common dead diode on the amplifier cases here. Let's crack it open and find out. Unnecessary. Why? I get questions every once in a while. Why don't you replace that adhesive? Why did Apple put it there in the first place? You do not need any of the adhesive that you see in these HomePods for them to work perfectly fine. Sans the adhesive holding this onto this, but I mean, if you want. Go naked? Don't do that, it's really bright. It's really bright. But I mean, if it's not where you can see it, then it doesn't matter. fancy smelling subwoofer, no concerns there. Always gotta sniff that subwoofer. Make sure there's nothing funny hiding in there. It's really rare, but I have cracked open HomePods with what seems to be okay working bass. And the subwoofer, it looks okay. It feels fine when you like push it in and out. But then you go to smell it and it smells roasted. And then you go and you gotta push the subwoofer up even further to see the actual damage on the voice coil, because sometimes the voice coil only gets burned on the bottom half, and you can't see it through the little window here unless you move the speaker up like that, which is why you see us do exactly that. Pretty rare though, like I said, but we're not going to make somebody pay for all this work and wait all this time just to not notice a roasted subwoofer that's just going to totally tank on someone in a matter of months. But anyways, theirs is perfectly fine. They're usually perfectly fine. They're pretty tough little subwoofers. Nice. Yeah, we don't want any crispy coils. That's funny. That's a new one. I'm gonna steal that. Here we go. Is it going to be a 6 or an 8? It's a 6. It doesn't matter. Both of those are the two date codes that we commonly see failing and causing this no power issue. 1746K like this one, and 1748K. Give it up. Come. Mike, what's up? If I'm not mistaken, I think I saw an email from you. Haven't had the time to go through emails from today yet. I think I only got halfway through yesterday's before passing out too. I don't know who's posting what or sharing what where, but like, I don't know. It's like suddenly we've just got a whole bunch of them again. I thought we were gonna die out. I thought people were gonna stop sending them in, people were gonna buy second gens, and then the next day we get freaking 9 in one day. Okay, cool, I'm not crazy. Hello. Yes, we've got power on this one. Oh, give me less than 50 millivolts on that meter there, which tells us our filters on the amp are good. Yes. So this just needs that diode. It doesn't need filters to prevent any death farts. The filters in this are in excellent shape. No reason to mess around with that. It is ready to put back together. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the business. I like the extra money. But at a certain point, you only have so much time. And as much as I want this to be, this still isn't my primary source of income, and it couldn't be. It would be really stupid of me to rely on HomePod repairs to make a living because it's a single product. That would be really that would be a bad idea. So yeah, I get a lot of people asking me, what do you do? I work at a local software company. I've been working at the same place for the past 10-ish years. I started there as an accounting assistant and tier 1 tech support on the phones. Moved over to QA to test their software. And then somehow got into the sales team. And I don't sell anything. I don't like selling stuff. I don't like dealing with money. But no, I just help the sales guys and really everybody around the company that I can, just because of how much experience I have with our software. I pretty much just help set up demos and test and integrate new hardware. But anyways, what I'm getting at is I'm plenty busy during the day with the job that keeps the lights on and the kid and wife fed, And I gotta squeeze these in pretty much whenever the kid is asleep. And it's not the middle of the day, then that's the time that I've got to do whatever I want. And the only time I can work on these is when I've got time to do whatever I want. So I trade my free time for some extra work for some extra money. But then what good is the extra money if you don't have any extra time? And then a few weeks ago, somebody had emailed me asking to buy one of my refurbished HomePods, as well as trading in one of their bricked HomePods. And I replied back to them. I was like, hey, I'll make you an even better deal. Technically, it'd be cheaper if you just sent in your bricked HomePod for repair instead of trading that in for a discount on a refurbished one. It would cost you less, and you'd get essentially the same refurbished HomePod back, with my warranty and all that. And I think, let's see, I sell my refurbs for $200. Includes tax and shipping in the US. Or he could pay $100 plus shipping to get his bricked one fixed. And then even if you factored in the discount for the trade-in for the bricked one, that's only $60 off. He'd still pay $140 for a different refurbished HomePod. So, you know, he even replied back to me. He was like, "Oh, sweet, that's an awesome deal. That's you know, I'll let you know when I ship it out in the next few days." Yeah, okay, so they said, "You've got a deal. I'll ship it out to you, you know, after the weekend." And typically I don't reply to people if there doesn't appear to be a need to reply. So when somebody tells me, "Sweet, I'll get this shipped out in the next few days," thanks. I don't see how, what, you know, I'm a little antisocial, being honest. I hate talking to people in general. It takes a lot of energy, despite how I may seem here. So, I err on the side of not replying if all I'm gonna say is cool or thanks. You know, I want to reply if there's something meaningful to reply with. And unfortunately, that does not seem to work very well for everybody else, because after they emailed me saying, "Hey, that sounds like a good deal, I'll ship this out to you in a few days," they sent me another message saying, "Just making sure you got my replies to my email. Are we agreed on, you know, the deal?" And it's, you know, I saw that and I'm like, I'm a little confused, because it's like, that's what we talked about before you said you're going to drop it off on Monday. But I didn't reply back yet because, you know, I was out, I was busy. Day job, baby, wife, life, you know. And I didn't get a chance to reply to them that day. So the next day rolls around. It's actually not even noon yet the next day. And I get an email from my friggin' Trustpilot that the guy had left a 1-star review, basically ranting about how I was so fast to reply to his initial email, and then I ghosted him. And that caught me really off guard, because, I mean, we've been doing this for like almost 2 years now, and I've never had anybody, you know, lose their shit like that, let alone before even sending a HomePod in to get fixed. So I immediately emailed the guy back, and I was like, "Hey man, I'm really sorry that it took me more than a day to reply, but you gotta understand this, that, and the other thing. It takes me time to reply." if you wouldn't mind, you know, if you could do something about that review, I'm more than happy to, you know, do the same exact deal that we previously talked about. No problem. But I don't really like that review. And mind you, so the timeline of events is they email me. I email them back saying, hey, better yet, here's a better deal. They email me back saying, okay, I'll send it out after the weekend. That was over the course of 2 days. And then 2 days after he emailed me saying, I'm going to drop this off on Monday, is when he emails me again saying, just making sure you got my previous email that I was going to drop it off on Monday. Are we still good on this deal? So essentially, he only gave me at most 2 days to reply before leaving that review, essentially calling me a scammer for not replying to his email. I don't understand the logic behind that. Like, let's say I am a scammer. In what way did I scam you, or even attempt to scam you, by not emailing you? So I hit them up. I was like, hey, I don't know why you feel that way, but if you still want, I'm more than happy to do what we talked about. Send it in, I'll get you fixed up. And they said, okay, I'll get it sent out here. In the next day or so. It's been a few weeks. It's been a few weeks and I haven't seen anything. This guy was so salty about me not replying to him within a 2-day time period. And then it's that he leaves me a 1-star review calling me a scammer and ghosting him. And then literally doesn't send the thing in anyways. And it's like, no hard feelings. I don't like. Yeah, it kind of sucks that I used to have nothing but perfect 5-star reviews, and then this guy comes along, isn't even technically been a customer yet, and he just kind of shits all over it. But at the same time, you can't expect to maintain that for that perfect score forever. Somebody's gonna come along. You can't make everybody 100% happy. I learned that working at a call center for Verizon years ago. In training, the trainer told us, like, don't stress too much about getting a 100% perfect feedback score. You know, obviously strive to do the best and try to get 100%, but also keep in mind you're going to run into people that you literally cannot make happy if you give the world to them, and they're still going to give you, 9 out of 10 stars, even if you literally did everything that they wanted and then some. Blew them away. There's always something. So yeah, don't go looking, like, don't go trying to find out who it is. I don't, and like bugging them about it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not asking for that. Please don't do that. It blew my mind, because I thought I set these expectations for people, at least on my website, by saying, it may take me 2 to 3 days to reply. And I think that's pretty reasonable too, especially for a specialized repair service that isn't even done full time. This is, I don't know. They told me that they were, they admitted, they said, I'm sorry, I'm an incredibly impatient person. And I get it. I can be exactly the same way. But it still hurts. My perfect Trustpilot score, it's gone. But you know, on the bright side, now I don't even have to worry about keeping it that way. Whatever. Who cares if a troll comes onto the page and leaves a crappy review that isn't even a customer? I don't care. People are going to go through the reviews and be able to easily tell based on the positive experiences. We're not messing around. Case in point, Lance has power now. Yeah, I'm thinking of see, I don't think they trolled me. I don't think this person in particular was trolling me.
I'm having trouble
Because when I looked them up, they have like a podcast on all this, like social media presence. They're like a legit person. And they were just using their regular info. So like they weren't trying to like troll me or anything. This was just a legit like, what the All right. Let's grab John's HomePod here. John has, you guessed it, no power. Let's go ahead and check their symptoms. I haven't even been reading the chat. Damn, I'm sorry, guys. Alright, same symptoms as always for a dead diode, so let's get this open. And I will catch up on the chat. Oh, of course. Of course, of course. That's so messed up, Mike. So he said when I worked at Apple, if you got a lousy CS review, they referred to them as detractors. And they always seem to take the side of the customer. What really bugs me about that is like, internally, they treat the customers like they're the priority. But then externally, they don't. It's the complete opposite. I mean, the fact that people have to pay somebody to fix this first of all, the fact that it breaks like this, then the fact that they aren't doing anything to recall them. But like, it's just so messed up to me that they, you know, you get what I meant. You get what I'm trying to say. Like, you get my feel here. Like, internally, they expect employees to think like the customer is the number one priority, but in reality, that's just not the case. So like, but what's that threshold at Apple? At what point on the ladder do you hit where it changes from the customer's first bullcrap that they feed you to the real truth that they hash out behind closed doors. You know, I doubt that they have a panel of planned obsolescence, you know. But there are definitely intentional decisions that they've made in their products. That, at the very least, strongly suggests something like that's going on. I wonder if I can actually do that on Trustpilot. I don't know if I can set it to allow private reviews only. If I can, then that'd be awesome. But like, what's the lowest tier job that I could take at Apple where I could have a biggest enough impact on their product line to make them like fully end user repairable? Yeah, I low-key want to take over Apple and like fix their shit, because I like their shit. They make nice shit, but unfortunately it's still shit. Yeah, Apple is very good at cherry picking. Like you're talking about with their carbon footprint. It's like, yeah, sure, this specific model of phone or device may be carbon neutral, but what about literally everything else about it? Does that include the carbon footprint of everybody that worked on that phone? The carbon footprint of the development of the software for that phone? The carbon footprint of what happens to it when somebody dies or wants to sell their phone to someone else and forgets to remove the activation lock on it? What about that carbon footprint, Apple? The carbon footprint when it costs so much to replace a display, and then you go and do it yourself, and you find out you lost half your features, so you just throw it away? Or you sell it to some other schmuck that doesn't know? At least One Wheel is recalling all of their self-balancing vehicles, except for the ones that are actually affected by the safety problems that are killing people. So stupid. If you don't know about what's going on with the One Wheel stuff, I haven't been following Louis Rossmann very much lately, but one thing did pop up on my recommendations recently. It was the one wheel thing, recall. That got my blood boiling again. That screw is being naughty. I do not want to do an extraction tonight. Yeet. We'll replace that with a not stripped screw. Arguing that replacing it. What the fuck? Yeah, that's what I'm actually saying right now. Replacing a passive component on a Mac board makes it a PC now. How can you possibly argue that? I mean, I guess in the sense that the hardware that you buy from Apple isn't yours until you replace the hardware with your hardware, in which case that makes it now your personal computer and not Apple's computer. I get that. Yeah, totally. I totally agree in that sense. With the way that Apple locks down replacing so many parts in so many of their products, you practically don't own it. That's right. It isn't a personal computer. So I get that. When you replace a part in it with one of your parts, it makes it that much more your computer. But at the end of the day, it still isn't your computer. Because Apple can still push whatever they want to it to disable whatever they want whenever they want. They have and they will. Here we are again. Another 46K. Doobie-doo-ba, doobie-doo-ba-ba, doobie-doo-ba, doobie-doo-ba-ba. Ooh. I recently, actually just today, my iPhone 14 Pro Max just came in. I just bought this brand new. And you might be wondering, why did you just buy a brand new iPhone 14 Pro Max? You're an idiot. Didn't the 15 Pro Max just come out with Lightning? And to you I say, this is gonna blow your mind, I don't care. What I care about more are two things. They kind of play with each other, but do you see that? That's a SIM card tray. That is not just a SIM card tray in an iPhone 14 Pro Max that in the US markets does not come with a SIM card tray. They only come with eSIMs. That is a dual SIM. That is a dual nano SIM card tray. Now, if you're familiar enough with the recent models of iPhones, you'll already know, and you'll be thinking in your head, okay, so that must mean he's got a non-American iPhone. Yes, I needed the dual nano SIM because my work line is on AT&T, and they only give us nano SIMs. They don't give us eSIMs. And then I've got a personal line with T-Mobile. I've also got a nano SIM on that. On my personal T-Mobile line, I've also got an Apple Watch Ultra. But at the time, I had my iPhone with the AT&T SIM and my Google Pixel 7 with my T-Mobile SIM. So that way I had two different phones, one for work, one for personal. And it was a little awkward because I bought the Apple Watch on T-Mobile, and I had it paired with the AT&T iPhone, but I couldn't activate the Apple Watch's cellular service. You can't mix cell providers like that. The Apple Watch has to use the same cell provider as the phone it's paired with. So I couldn't use the cellular on that Apple Watch for a while until I discovered the Chinese and Hong Kong market iPhones come with dual nano SIM trays. The catch, this is what made it really difficult, the Chinese specific iPhones do not allow Wi-Fi calling or FaceTime audio. The Hong Kong specific variants do. So, essentially, what I'm getting at, if you want an iPhone, a recent model iPhone, with dual nano SIM and Wi-Fi calling and FaceTime audio, you have to get specifically the model only sold in Hong Kong. Any other model in the world is going to either limit or disable Wi-Fi calling and FaceTime audio because that's illegal in China apparently, or it's not going to come with dual nano SIM card tray, and you can't just put it in there like you could on the older iPhones, or it's just going to come with eSIM entirely and you can't put any SIM card in it. And I am an old geezer. I'm getting old. I like my SIM cards. I hate this eSIM shit. So it was a eureka moment when I discovered I could buy a Hong Kong iPhone and put both my T-Mobile and AT&T SIM card in this, have my work and my personal line on one phone, and I get to reactivate my Apple Watch on my T-Mobile cellular plan. Oh man. Yeah, I could have gotten the iPhone 15 Pro Max from Hong Kong, but that would have cost me like $2,000. I'm not paying that much. I'm not telling you how much I paid for this, but I'm not paying $2,000 for a 15 Pro Max, so. The convenience of being able to have both my SIM cards in the single phone with both my work and personal lines, and having my Apple Watch Ultra activated on cellular, that completely trumps the Lightning versus USB-C port thing for me. And I'm not going to spend an extra at least $1,000 on getting that ability. And what's nice is it is technically an upgrade from my 13 Pro Max. I can't complain. I can wait another year or two to buy an iPhone 15 Pro Max from Hong Kong. is this not... I don't like how that's working. Let's try that again. Did I even tin the diode before trying that first time? I can't remember now. I went off on my iPhone thing. Yeah. I don't think I tinned the diode. Sorry about that. I had to, that's the stuff. Oh yeah, I almost forgot too, and you might be regarding my iPhone fiasco. You might be shaking your fist at the screen going, why don't you just suck it up and go with eSIM? It would have made your life so much easier and you wouldn't have to pay so much for an iPhone to import from Hong Kong. I need to be able to move my SIM card between different phones like that to be able to test a lot of the things that I do at my work. And eSIM just isn't... I hate having to contact customer service every single time I want to use a different phone. It's really freaking annoying. I don't think it's ready yet. When it's at the point where I can open up the settings on my phone, log into my carrier's account, and hit move plan to this phone or something that simple, it's got to be as simple as moving a physical SIM card, or I'm not going to do it. And I'm going to keep doing what I do until there's a better way. Anyways, I think I've talked enough here. We've made this repair way longer than it needs to be, but I'd rather talk to you guys than blast through a bunch of HomePods. I mean, I'd rather talk to you guys and work at a slower pace than blast through a bunch of HomePods by myself, all in the zone kind of thing. We're looking fancy. in all regards. We've got power, we've got sound, and we've got an excellent DC offset. So we can throw this back together, see how many more we can knock out. I did tin the diode. Huh. You know, I wonder if because I waited so long the board cooled down so much. Because normally when we're doing this, you know, we get the old diode off and the new one on within a matter of a minute or two. But we were dicking around. We were having a good time, you know? That board cooled all the way down. So I either didn't... I think my flux dried up. And putting more on it isn't going to help because the diode's already kind of like stuck into place. It's not going to let the flux get under it. Oh, Mike, I meant to ask you. You said... Oh, okay. No, never mind. I get it now. I thought you said, I'm still rocking my 12. I'm a video nerd. And I was like, why do you still have a 12 in particular if you're a video nerd? But you know, you said I'm upgrading. I'm a video nerd. That makes a lot more sense. I'm an idiot. What am I using? This is leaded solder. Slam's about to educate us. I feel it coming. I love to learn. I love to be proven wrong. It's what motivates me. Being proven wrong motivates me more than motivation itself. I hate motivation. Yuck. It's icky. It's gross. It's cringe. I hate it. I remember when I was in cross country in middle school, and like you're running your track, and they were like there's the crowd of parents cheering everybody on. And I was running past them and they were cheering me on, and I'm like, I don't know any of you. Stop motivating me. I hate it. And I don't know why, but I don't, it's gotta be like my ODD or something. But then I think I heard somebody say you suck. And I was like, oh, okay, I don't suck, I'll show you. It's like the one guy trying to demotivate me is what pushed me harder than everybody else trying to motivate me. That's me in one sentence. And then when I was in basic training, one thing that kind of stuck with me, and granted, when I went into basic, I was 17 years old, so bear that in mind when I say things like one thing that stuck with me. And it's like some people that I was going to basic with were like 30, 35 years old. So like, I'm still literally a kid in basic training. And one thing that stuck with me was one of the drill sergeants saying like, okay, prove me wrong. And that was, I don't know why, just like the way that he used it in the specific context was really motivational. And I've kind of used it. Kind of used it a lot ever since. And granted, you know, you got to keep in mind, you know, the burden of proof. You can't just say prove me wrong to win an argument. Lead-free needs more heat. Oh yeah, no, that's specifically why we don't use lead-free. I'll take the cancer. I'll take the yeah, what, never mind. I don't think I can say that. Damn, am I gonna need to launch a Patreon so we can have like an uncut, like, rated R or unrated friggin' Nick's Fix streams? Like, nah, I'm not gonna be whipping my willy out. I'm not into that. But I do absolutely want to work in my boxers. Mark Rebelite gets away with working in his boxers. Why can't I? And he streams. Why can't I? And then I get people, like, I'll email people when I get their HomePod in. I'm like, your HomePod's here. I'll be letting you know when it's up next, and I'll shoot you a link down on how to watch. And people will reply, and they'll be like, okay, thank you. I can't wait. My 8-year-old or my 10-year-old kid is so excited to watch. And I'm like, ah, shit. I gotta go from, you know, it's a different, you know, you gotta keep certain things in mind when you're streaming and you know you've got kids' eyes on you. Just because I have a kid doesn't mean I'm going to force my standards on other people's kids too. But at the same time, it's not my responsibility to supervise what your kid is watching. I'm busy enough with mine as it is. So I do not recommend my streams for anybody who can't handle a few cuss words. I, personally, I'm going to teach my kid that swearing is perfectly acceptable when appropriate. Because when I was a kid, my mom did not allow us to say quite a few words. And as you get older, you were allowed to say more and more, you know, bad words. Like the first one that you were allowed to say was crap. And like, I think when I turned 16, I was allowed to say damn, but you were not under any circumstance allowed to put God in front of that. Which is funny, because like the whole context of like not taking the Lord's name in vain if you're following the commandments in the first place isn't even about swearing using his name. It has nothing to do with that. But I'm not getting into that, and I'm not into that anyways. Is this number 3? Number 2. Yeah, this is number 2. Because I've only drank 2 beers. Middle finger is your third finger when... middle finger is your third signal when swearing. No, I don't want my kid flipping people off. I mean, unless it's, like, totally appropriate. Like, go for it, kid. But instead, I want my kid... I want the mental image of me passing your ass, flipping you off, while my kid's in the backseat giving you the thumbs down. Or better yet, I'm giving you the thumbs down and my kid's giving you the middle finger. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. That is what I'm going for. George, welcome. Welcome. Damn, it's Monday? I'm feeling way too good for a Monday. And power.
I'm having trouble connecting to you. I'm having trouble.
Nice. Let's see what Johanna's got us for us. The usual dead diode symptoms, it appears. So we've got a known good power cable here. And it's not lighting up for us at all, but we are pulling 6 watts of power from the wall. We know it's not a blown fuse or a bad power cable, obviously, because we're pulling 6 watts of power from the wall. If it was a blown fuse, there would be no power flowing and it wouldn't pull anything. That power draw, in particular, that 3 to 7 watt range, almost always points to the same dead diode on the amplifier that most of these HomePods die from. Now, if it was like 1 or 2 watts of power draw, I would be more inclined to think it's some other random short, maybe on the logic board up here, or maybe if we had more than 7 watts of power draw, I would suspect the power supply itself. But between how common of an issue that diode is and how often it pulls around that much power when it fails like this, a normal working HomePod, when it's plugged in, is only going to pull a couple, like 1 or 2 watts. So straight away we can tell right when plugging it in, based on that power draw, what's going on. Paul is in the chat. Hello to Australia. Wow. Wow. Hope y'all are doing fine over there. I would really love to visit one day. I'm just a little nervous about the all of the animals and creatures. The risk of dying. But everybody seems to be doing alright over there, so can't be that bad. I'm just an ignorant American, I don't know much. That's why I want to go. The only place I've been outside of the United States, well, I've been 2 places outside of the United States. The first place I went to was Puerto Rico. And, I mean, technically, depending on what you think, it may or may not count, but, you know, you didn't need a passport to go to Puerto Rico, so no, I wouldn't count it personally. But going to Puerto Rico was awesome. Oh, the food. Oh, one of my top favorite foods is carne asada. So going to Puerto Rico and basically getting carne asada every night, dream come true. And then the second time, which is technically the only time I've been out of the country, would have been going to Japan on my honeymoon. That was really cool because of course, I used to be a huge anime nerd. I was always watching anime, tweeting about anime, downloading anime. I still have a bunch of anime figurines, actually. And I had like posters all over my room with like, anime girls and all that, classic weeaboo stuff. So going to Japan was quite an eye-opening experience for somebody who's not very cultured. And only really has I only have my guesses as to what Japan was like based on what I saw in my animes. And I wasn't thinking everybody was like kawaii cute anime girls, that kind of thing, but it's still quite a cool experience to go and see how so many people live different than you do. Different food. Different societal standards. It's so wild. And then people live on a day-to-day basis doing stuff that are different than the way that you do things or that you're used to doing it. Even the simple things, which is just pretty cool to see and experience. Tony got his HomePods back. All good to go. Hell yeah. Let's give that 1 second to cool. Let's take a quick, 2-minute break. We will be right back. Let's see if this is working. And power. Sorry, trying to knock out emails while doing repairs. I know I'm not going to have much time after the folks wake up.
Ich habe ein Problem mit der Internetverbindung. Weitere Infos.
Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna take a guess that she's having problems connecting to the internet. But she is working. This brings us to Mr. Mike. We've actually got two mics today, but... And I was going to say this is mic A, but we've got two mic A's. In any case, that's the theme tonight, no power. Let's see what this one does. Oh, so we've got a slightly lower power draw than I expect to see with a dead diode. With only 2 watts of power draw, that's not... I mean, that is usually like something wrong with the display or logic board. Sometimes it's still the diode, but it just means we got a little more testing to do to figure out what's going on before just assuming it's the diode and replacing it and getting lucky first time every time. That is okay. Hello, Mike. This is your HomePod. You are the right mic, and this is the right HomePod. Funny enough, we had two different mics HomePods show up today, and their last names, first initial, are both A. Okay, so we've got the logic board and display out. I don't see any reason why this display wouldn't be working. So we're going to connect. Oh, a known good logic board and display before we go any further. This eliminates, well, half of the components and tells us which half of the other components is causing this fault. And there we go. It's powering up. So with a known good display and logic board, this turns on. With their logic board and display, it does not. Which means, of course, it's one of these two. Let's go ahead and grab another display, plug that into their logic board, and see if that's it. Although I'm calling it. We probably got a short somewhere on our logic board. It's gonna be a fun one. All right, so their display is most likely good, and the source of our problems lie solely in our logic board. So let's set this to the side. Get a good swig. This is gonna be fun. First thing is first. Let's go for... Let's try this side first. We're gonna need to remove that shield. And let's just do some quick probing here around the area that we normally see shorts like this. Where's my multimeter? Got it. Okay. Put 20 volts to it. I'm gonna put 20 volts to you. Oh yeah, we've already got a short. Oh boy. That's all over. It is all over. And of course my thermal camera is dead. So let's go for some slightly more conventional methods. I do not have I don't have anything to do voltage injection as much as I would love to. I know, sad, pathetic. I need to up my game already. I just honestly don't come across very many repairs that require voltage injection to troubleshoot yet. I will definitely be coming across those more and more, but we've been pretty lucky up to this point. Alright. Ooh, damn! Fuck, that's hot. Ah. Oh boy. Alright, that's gonna be quick and easy to find. Check this out. Go ahead and start putting some flux down. Do you see it? Do you see it yet? I see it. I'll go ahead and point it out for you. Right there. It's gonna be that sucker right there. He's the only one exposed after we covered all of them. Reason why I used flux instead of rubbing alcohol is, well, we're going to end up using the flux anyways, so. I'm sure the alcohol would work just as good, if not maybe a little better, but we get by just fine with that flux. And we're spoiled. So let's grab a parts board. Do we have that same one available on here? Yes, we do. See, that's what's weird, is like, it's a different cap almost every time whenever it's a logic board issue. Which is kind of concerning, if you think about it. That doesn't mean that they've got one possible issue with bad cap, like one possible bad cap. That means that they've just got quality control issues all across the board with these suckers. Okay, so here's our parts board. Let's go ahead and extract our part. It's going to be that second one over. I just realized we need to get rid of the foam on our board here really quick. There we go. Alright, back to our parts. We need to get that part. Give me that part. Teeny tiny. So small. Back into the bin for you. Here is our replacement nugget. Get off. There we go. Oh, well, it's gone now. Didn't need it anyways. Here we go. It's as simple as... Well, we're gonna need to get another one. That's no big deal. There we go. I like to intentionally put these smaller components on crooked, but still on the pads, so that way I know when the solder has melted, it'll start to straighten itself out, and I know that we've hit that melting point. And we've got a decent connection. There we go, just like that. You see that? And then we'll just give it a little assist. And that's that. We're gonna let this cool off. While that's cooling off, we're gonna go ahead and continue tearing down Mike's HomePod here because we don't want to stop just at that logic board. We want to go all the way down to the amplifier and at least make sure that it doesn't have the same faulty diode waiting to fail and cause the more common no power issue, in addition to the less common death farts / DC offset issues that come along with failing filters. We don't need this. Oh man, this sucker is sealed. They are normally this bad. Screw it. We're doing the old style. There. Unnecessary. Unnecessary. Actually, that's cool enough for us to test. Let's see. If we fixed it. Yes, we did. There you go. Nope, I do not want to reset you.
I'm having trouble connecting to the...
All right. Aren't we all having trouble connecting to the... Bring her in here. Bring her in here. I can hold her. Where's the baby? Say hello, little feet. So, I don't see bad filters, but I do see the usual bad diode waiting to fail, even though their issue in particular was the logic board. This time around, it's usually not. And that reason why it's usually not is currently present on their amplifier, so we need to rectify that before we send this back to them, thinking we're all hunky-dory, and then they email us a few months later, hey, so you fixed my thing and it's like not powering on again. And you'll be like, what the heck? I fixed that already. Lo and behold, the larger problem at hand was still inside. I'm gonna wrap this one up and I'll be back. You see that right there? The same date code as all the other ones failing. The only difference is this one hasn't failed yet. That's why we're doing this. Alright, time to put this back together. This will actually be the last one that we've got time for. Still got 4 more to fix, but wife and kid woke up, so we are out of time. We gotta go eat and do life things. We're just double checking that we didn't break anything. Yep, it still powers on. And since I've got my test woofer connected, we can double check and verify that our offset is good. I didn't hear any severe popping, so I'm not expecting it. Yep, beautiful. All right. Let's get this bent back into shape really quick. We can reshield that logic board. Beautiful. Let's go. I've got HomePod in my eye. Oh, God. Okay, we're good. Rogue spring. Alright, we got him. One more amp screw. Alright. Time to make this look like a HomePod again. It sucks. Even though we fixed the actual problem, we still have to do all that extra work just to prevent the thing from coming back to us in a few months. Ah, stupid plastic garbage. All right. There you have it. Fixed and then some. Folks, hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair. If you are looking for more info on doing your own HomePod repairs that you see us do here on the channel, or maybe you've got your own broken HomePod, or maybe something else that you want to send into the channel and get fixed up for you right here. Or maybe you want to buy some of our broken or not broken shit. We've got a shop link up on our... all of that's up on our website at nixfix.com.
I'm having trouble
I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.